Well, DEMO is a project about empowering refugee populations and other vulnerable groups in our society. So this obviously raises ethical questions and dilemmas, and this has been part of the project over the whole period to really think about ethical dilemmas, but we also decided to make it more explicit in the project and to work with think through the different ethical principles that we adhere to in the project, to try to state them, to find a consensus around them, but also then to guide and help students before they go into the society, into different communities, to do interviews, for instance, or field observations, to guide them and to help them to have some kind of ideas about how this might impact in various ways the refugees themselves, the communities, but also themselves as students. When they go back, they might have to rethink and think through what they experience. So this is one part that we're working with, but we're also working with the classroom situations when we're teaching about topics about vulnerable groups, about refugee communities and so on. So how do we deal with what's coming up in the classrooms? How do we present and discuss ethical concerns that you ought to have when you're working with vulnerable groups?
Another very important topic that we discussed here was ethics. And I think especially for this topic you need different perspectives. You need different institutional perspectives, different perspectives from individual people to be able to consider ethics in all layers of research and methodology.
Working with these vulnerable groups, there are some challenges as well. We have to see that because these kind of maps can open up and remember people about all kind of different challenging experiences up to trauma. So we have to be really aware of these issues. But on the other hand side, it opens up a whole new approach to experiences for us. I think using it for an exhibition, for example, it would be another step. I think if we would like to follow up this line, we have to be in a longer engagement with young migrants. It could be a very interesting idea to engage in a longer time with these migrants, because then they are trusting us, perhaps we trust them. But then this is really important because I think such an exhibition exposes yourself to the public. It would be great for them because they disappear in Germany as well. They want every policy is focused just on integration. Integration means disappearing. And I think it would be great if they appear in public in a positive way. So these kind of exhibitions would be great, but we have to be aware also that this kind of exhibitions are exposing people. So we have to be careful also in this respect.
So the example of my students who were afraid to participate in the videos just because they thought they would be used by us and that we would observe them, so they would be the object of our glance. This went away. They got away with this feeling as soon as they realized that they themselves would participate in the making of this final product and that they themselves are the creators of that they have things to tell us. It's not only us having things to tell them. So then doing this together, there's a different product that comes up. Students themselves, after the experiment, during our meeting, were very revealing in saying that how empowered they felt during the making of their videos, because they realized that they have a story to tell, they have something to tell us, they have something to bring to the table themselves. They're not there to listen to us. So that was and that was the first time in their lives that they had experienced that, all of them, coming from different countries of the Eastern Bloc, and having felt for many years in their lives this feeling of being a minority or in the margins of Greek society. So that was one of the most empowering moments in their student life, maybe in their entire life.
The student which took part in the course actually learned a few things which were important for their future part in society as designers and artists. They learn how to reach a community, how to create their trust, how to be very sensitive to their needs, and how to offer them collaborate work using art and design.
We think that the communities we work with, they really gain a lot of benefits to work with students of art and design that developed a kind of sensitivity to this subject, so they could come there and really ask the question in the gentle way that it should be, and not only to think about their art.